So this is the heroic twin Ogrons encounter in Highmaul. This fight's the same as normal mode, but the damage is higher. That's pretty much true for every single boss in heroic mode in Highmaul. For this boss, you want to have a melee group and a range group.
Which one does Whirlwind?
Everyone should stack as much as
Two swords.
possible. When the fires
Thanos.
come out, so there's many theories on how the fire comes out.
Can't say brown one.
Basically, they emanate from the hammers on the ground, and they just
Oh, I can't
shoot
really say the
out
dark one either,
in
'cause
sort of
Dolan's
a
darker than he is.
arrow pattern. And those and
You're supposed to drag it away.
each individual line of fire moves in the same direction. They either move perfectly straight or it can move sideways at an angle. So, but it doesn't change direction as many people think it does. As long as you can figure out that the fire moves straight or sideways at an angle, but not perfectly perpendicular, you'll be able to avoid it. So you want to stack as much as possible. You need to move in for the enfeebling roar. For the pulverize, you want to spread out, and then you want to avoid the swirly things on the ground. You want to avoid the shield charge, and you want to avoid the cyclone. So you need to pop some cooldowns when he does the enfeebling roar. And then you might also want to consider some cooldowns for the fire phase too. Um, it's damage that's supposed to be avoidable, but I know a lot of people have trouble with it. So you can just treat it like another damage phase and just pop a cooldown or something. As far as everything else should be avoided by the raid. The fire phase, it gives everyone trouble. So there's no, I don't think very many people are able to perfectly avoid the fire every single time. Basically for Cyclone, you can move the boss away from each other, or you can just have all raid members move away from both bosses and have the two tanks eat the Cyclone. Whichever way you want to do it will work. And then of course the two tanks just need to pop a cooldown or have a raid cooldown used on them. And then everyone just needs to spread out for the pulverize, or not the pulverize, but yeah, it's a pulverize. Sorry, quake is the other ability where it starts the fire, and then watch out for the shield charge. If you're able to do this in normal mode, heroic mode isn't really all that different. It's just more damage. Just stack up as much as you can, avoid as much damage as you can, and you'll be fine. So with the fire, they come out, so they emanate from the hammer, and they shoot out in a jet of three. So one goes straight, and then the other two kind of go at like a angle. But it always shoots out in sort of like a W letter type, and then they always move straight. But they don't move like straight on the edge. It could be like the sideways. They move straight, but they are not random. They move straight. So you can just I guess practice and just have your camera on the fire for better observation, or you can be closer to the hammer as it's easier to avoid the closer you are. Stack up for the enfeebling roar. For bloodlust, you can just use it at the beginning. There's no benefit to using it later on or anything. This fight's pretty much the same. Damage doesn't increase as the fight goes on. It's always going to be the same. So just make sure that you're able to get through all the different abilities and you'll be fine.
No.
They stack right in the middle of the room, and nothing hits them. Apparently, like
So you also need to stop casting for interrupting shout, or you're gonna get locked for 6 seconds.
One time to the left and one time to the right. You
No,
avoid
no,
the fire
no.
entirely.
And then for fire, try to avoid it. If you can't avoid it, pop a personal cooldown. But basically, it's just the same phases over and over. Just a test of how well your raid members can coordinate with each other.
Get out of there. There's the charge.
Enfeebling roaring too.
Get in. Interrupting shout.